we're live.
Live from the social distancing network of the world.
Yeah, it's
going crazy.
Sit next to me during this episode. So
we've got Chucky. I miss you, Chucky. These guys just aren't the same. They're not the same. I got monkeys. All right.
Yeah. All right. We got news today. Well, we got news a couple of days ago. Actually, we're a little bit behind, so we apologize for that. We have lives that we have to take care of as well. So, but the UFC has canceled UFC 249.
They have. They've canceled it. They've canceled, but not because they couldn't find a place to fight. Because one of the higher ups at Disney said, "Hey, man," I guess told Dana White, "Hey, look, at the end of the day, we're Disney, and you know how Disney is, and whatever." But they, in light of everything that's going on, Disney asked him, because Disney owns ESPN, they said, "Hey, we need you to step down." And because UFC isn't a big partnership, with their pay-per-view and everything with ESPN, he decided, hey, we're gonna pull this one out. But apparently he had what? He had he had one event set. He had it set up to go in on tribal ground in California, right? What they would call a sovereign nation, right? He had a commission and everything.
South Fresno, yeah.
Yeah. And he's actually got it. And apparently they've acquired a private island somehow, and they're going to do fights on the private island eventually. So that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool stuff. But even more cooler for me is that when this finally does come around, I'll get to see the fight that I wanted to see in the first place. And that's probably going to be Tony Ferguson and Khabib.
Yeah. Well, that is going to be a better fight, the fight that people really want to see. It sucks for some of the other fighters, but a lot of them were backing out anyway. It was kind of coming down to that.
Right. True.
Rose was out. A couple of the other fighters dropped out during the midst of all this. And so I know there would probably be guys that would have hopped on for the exposure, that they have signed that they haven't really done a lot yet with. But at the same time, safety is an important part of this. Plus, having that partnership with ESPN, which is owned by Disney. Disney pretty much owns everything.
Yeah.
They own this T-shirt I'm wearing.
Yeah.
So
for sure,
they pretty much own everything that you can name. So, when the big guys come down and say, hey, this is what we want you to do, it's pretty much what you have to do.
Right. Yeah. And, so they said, hey, step it out. I guess UFC told them, WME, because that's who bought him out. But I guess told him, hey, they probably would have let him run it on Fight Pass, is what he was saying. But since they've been in such a strong partnership with ESPN, he decided that he should not go ahead and do it. So he's not doing it, and that's cool. They'll get back to business eventually. But the fact that, he worked day and night to try to provide something normal for people, and, put on a show for people, because there are no other sports going on right now, right?
No.
And, props to him, man. Props to him for doing that. And I guess he's even he's gonna throw some support to the tribal ground that was going to support him to the place that they were going to have the fight there, and he actually is going to do an event with them, because they stuck it out with him to the last second. They were ready to do the show. So. Props to him, props to those guys, and props for being creative and finding another way to do it. If there was going to be another way to do it.
No, I completely agree with you. I know that there's a lot of stuff that you battle these little battles, and you're hoping to get out there, and these fighters want to fight,
True.
just like wrestlers want to wrestle, musicians want to go out and play.
Right.
These people want to get out there and do something because they're tired of sitting at home. But unlike professional wrestling, which right now they're recording a lot of their stuff and showing it later. Musicians have been getting on stuff and doing stuff and online and stuff, and they're playing songs. Yeah, they're not playing gigs in places, but as far as fighters go, there is no other out. They can't do anything.
Right. Right. So that's what they do. It's not like every MMA fighter crosses over to professional wrestling or vice versa.
Yeah.
It's just and plus if they're on contract with the UFC doesn't let them do stuff like that. They don't. They don't.
Except for Brock Lesnar.
Except for Brock Lesnar. The only other thing they allow them to do. The only other thing they allow them to do is grappling tournaments, grappling matches, things like that. And they're just trying to protect their investment. That's all that is. But there's not even any of that going on right now because there can't be any. There's no jiu-jitsu tournaments. There's nothing going on right now as far as combat sports is going on. There's nothing going on as far as any type of sport. So, while I understand, it also would have been cool to, kind of get back to normal and see some other things happening there. So,
no, I completely understand. And right now, with everything going on, a lot of these fighters aren't really even training in their gyms. They're training at home.
Yeah.
And they have one guy close to them that's there training with them.
Right.
And that's about it because most gyms are shut down. You're not even allowed to be in them, and I should know. I own one, and currently right now we can't do anything at all. We're doing online stuff. And we're trying to help people that are interested in what's going on. It's like most jiu-jitsu schools, we do an array of all of it, which so we're doing a little bit of everything online trying to help out. And people don't know, but we're going to be one of those things that's going to struggle during the midst of all this anyway. Martial arts gyms, period. MMA gyms, kickboxing gyms, boxing gyms, karate, whatever you may be, because everything a lot of us deal with is contact. We're doing contact with.
It's all contact. I mean, even regular gyms where people just go to lift weights and things like that. I mean, they're going to be suffering too. Anything that's membership and individual oriented, right? Is just suffering right now, and it's a little bit of normalcy would have been nice, but I have a feeling it's going to come back around. It's going to get there, but like you're doing, everybody else is they're jumping online and trying to find ways to do it. They're using the Zoom. They're doing whatever they can, man, and that's how you got to do it. And it might turn it. Who knows when it all comes back to normal. Some of those gyms out there, even you might stick with an occasional, Zoom thing, for certain people, maybe private lessons or things like that, just to have an additional stream there. You never know.
No, I completely understand. So if you guys are out there and there's gyms that you are part of or you support, now we understand if you can't be a part of the situation right now or you lost your job, we get that. But most of us will hang in there with you. Just let us know. But support that school or that gym, whatever you're part of, because there's people that still need jobs and things that are coming along with that. I have other instructors and people to pay and people that work for me that do other things. So all that is important, just like these fighters losing their pay because right now they're not getting paid if they don't fight.
Correct.
Yeah, they may have a contract, but that contract is only when you fight.
That's
you don't
right.
get paid for just sitting around.
That's right. Yeah, they're not. There's nothing else they can do. So I hope some of the guys sock some money away and things like that.
Well, actually, Dana said the other day that he's going to make sure the fighters and the people that work for him in the UFC will all get taken care of.
That is true.
Now that is what he said the other day. Now, that's between also the people that now own the UFC, what they're willing to put up and do as well to take care of everybody. But, him being the boss is something that he wants to do, so I'm pretty sure they'll probably get behind him and hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because you got to think about it. it's a pretty big sports conglomerate, and that sports conglomerate no longer, right, can no longer support any other sport right now. So if they can keep one of their avenues going, right, then I would think they're going to try to keep one of their avenues going. So he'll find a way to put some fights on.
Well, I understand that too. Well, right now, come on, it's like ESPN, Fox, Fox Sports Southwest, FS1, all those sports networks that don't really have anything to talk about. They're talking about, what if this happens, or when we get back to this, who's going to be with so and so, and they're trying, instead of talking about sports, all they have to do is talk about the what if situation. So again, the XFL is going to be no more because of what happened now.
Yeah,
the FXL just started their season.
Yeah,
just started when all this happened.
So Vince made a second run at it, and this time it's not just a complete business fail. It's just a victim of circumstance, really.
Yeah,
is how that comes to fruition. Now I don't know if he just puts a lid on it and says I'm not going to try this anymore, or if he keeps trying to do it. But either way, this time. It's not marketing. It's not fan interest. It's just basically circumstance. He really didn't have the chance to try to get it going this time. The XFL. So hopefully, UFC still got Fight Pass. Maybe they can put some fights on Fight Pass. Because apparently, they're gonna put some shows on non-pay-per-view because a lot of their cards are on ESPN Plus. Whether they're pay-per-view or not, and they're contracted to do so many this year. So just wait for something to be on every weekend. Every weekend, twice a week, we're going to see some fights because they've got to they've got to make good with everything that happened. So
well, and it's gonna, and people are gonna start wanting to see something. There's only so much that people can watch. I mean, I get people are online. People are, Lord knows, I've read books and I've watched so much TV. I don't like TV anymore. I'm pretty much to get to the point.
Man, I don't even know what to watch. I don't even know what to watch anymore. Like I don't, you know what I mean? It's like now I turn things on. I'm like I'll start watching. I don't want to watch this. I'm getting bored. Because there's nothing. You know what I mean? There's nothing to watch. Like what do I watch? Yeah,
when you're a fan of sports or fighting or anything that deals with that right now, you're kind of at a spot where there's nothing. You got to find things to watch or things to listen to.
I can't even watch anything on YouTube that interests me right now. I mean, there's just nothing out there, man, except these stupid little ads keep popping up about, hey, you want to know what's happening with the coronavirus? No, I don't. Because as far as I'm concerned, it's shut down my world, and I'm not interested in what's happening with it. I'm not interested in that whole fear media thing. So, stay well. Don't get me wrong. Don't get sick and stay well and keep your hands washed. And if you're older, man, make sure that you're staying out of contact with people, but. If you're one of those people who's wearing a mask and wearing gloves, but you're taking your gloves off to put them in your mouth so that you can send a text message and putting the mask up over your head, I mean, come on, guys. That's going a little far. I'm seeing some of that going on when I'm going to the store. So there's kind of no point at that point. So if you're going to do it, at least do it right.
That's right. All right. So, we miss the fights, we miss MMA, we miss the UFC. We still have a little bit of wrestling. They've recorded a little bit for us, so we'll still have that going on as well. Again, we are HeadTrauma. I'm Lee.
I'm Fayaz.
He's punching himself in the face.
Punching myself in the face.
And we went off on a little tangent there. We just kind of want to let you know about everything that's going on, not just with this, but with us as well.
That's right.
So until next time, guys, have a great day.